Yo, you already know what it is. It's me, Tri-Town Tory, and I'm coming to you live from the Northwest. Today, we have a special guest, man. I got my homeboy, Illest, Uminati in the spot, man. How's it going, Il?
Yeah. We out here, man, enjoying this beautiful Tri-Cities weather.
That's right, man. We out here enjoying it. Summer's just about to kick off pretty soon in a matter of months, and ready for this motherfucker. But, man, I'm glad that I could catch some time with you, man. You're a real busy individual. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of things going on right now. Can you give the people a brief, if they've never heard of you before, kind of give them a brief synopsis of what you do and who you are?
I consider myself an artist, you know what I'm saying? I just, anything I'm feeling like doing at the time, I try to dabble in it, you know, from comic books to painting to graphic design to music, video work, you know, it's all art to me, so I just try to, you know, let my artistic creativity flow.
Yeah, man, I love it. And one of the things that I always say that's great about you is you're like a branding, marketing god, man. Like, I watched what you do because me and you are homeboys, but also we have business together. And I learned a lot from just watching you. And I try to apply things to what I do to kind of reflect my inspiration that I've received from you. So where do you begin at with art? Like, as far as where you are today, as far as like what you do with graphic design and what you do with like 3D imaging. Like, if you were to go back to the seed of that, where does that start?
7th grade, man. We had to do like a report on what we'd want to do as when we grew up after college, or what we'd want to go to college for, or whatever, you know. And so you know, I was going through it, and you know, the only thing that really stood out to me was a graphic designer, artist, you know what I mean? Like, all the other shit, I was like, nope, I'm not gonna be a fucking doctor. Don't like to, can't do that. I'm not gonna be a lawyer. Don't want to fucking work with sea animals, you know? So I was just like, you know, I'm gonna be an artist, you know? And so ever since then, I just put my all into it and just, you know, just kept going for it, you know, took some college classes, and that's about it, man. It just, from there, I just grinded and just practice and just worked on my craft.
Yeah, you took it digital right away, or were you like a drawing, painting type guy? And then,
yeah, all through high school, you know, before I learned about Photoshop and stuff. Like, when I got in high school, that's when I learned about Photoshop and video editing and photography, but before that, it was all, you know, markers and pens and graffiti and
right.
Crazy ass drawings, you know, just crazy shit.
Hell yeah, man. You know, another thing that I like about what you do is you're very innovative. I noticed that you take steps in a forward-moving manner where you don't necessarily concern yourself with what's hot now, because you kind of have a good idea of what pattern recognition is going to take things. So you sometimes end up a couple steps further than where everybody's at any given point. Like, I noticed that it reminds me of kind of like Kanye a little bit, you know, Elon Musk, guys out there that are like inventive. My question to you really goes around to the point of, like, were you always that clever kid where you kind of just thought outside the box, and you thought, like, you know, like watching cartoons, TVs and shit, you always had maybe some extra shit to say, you know?
Bro, I was not that kid, bro. I was a fucking crazy ass kid. You know what I mean? But, you know, when I, you know, because, you know, growing up, I was poor. I didn't really know, what money could really buy. You know, I didn't have, like, you know, my mom did the best she could, you know, but we weren't going to fucking Disneyland every year and, you know, doing that kind of shit. So it's like, you know, I'll admit it, I was a fuck up, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, I was doing dumb shit, doing the most. And, you know, after I figured out, you know, I can't just be doing this my whole life. My homies was getting locked up, and, you know, the homies was dying. I was just like, nah, I need to fucking focus. I need to focus. Then I had my daughter, and then it really set me up into focus mode. And yeah, I just been a fucking machine ever since, trying to just knock it out, man. I'm trying to leave generational wealth for my kids, you know what I'm saying? And leave a name for myself, you know?
That legacy shit, right?
Legacy, for sure.
What a lot of people don't know is that the reason why me and you know each other and how we met is you were pretty much on a touring onslaught, man. You were just killing it, making your way throughout the Northwest, and you were on an album run. And I reached out to you and I hollered at you about opening up your show in Tri-Cities. And it's crazy because it was the most smoothest, like, like placement on a show I've ever had. Like you literally like for sure, you know, like hell yeah, just jump on the show. I don't know you, but you know, I'll pull up and drop you some tickets off. And you did. You literally pulled up. I remember you pulled up and you had some black on black joint. But I was like, damn, this motherfucker makes an entrance, man. I felt like you were a Marvel character showing up at the crib when you dropped tickets.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
So I was sold right away, man. I was like, I got to get down with these guys because I know that this is like the realest deal that I've seen around this area, because around here, you know what's what, because you can see them coming from a million miles away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like a desert out here. But what I realized about what you guys had going on is that you were hip hop, but you're also very niche, very underground, and what you guys did was more like artistic driven as opposed to like materialistic, you know, like cats like the Migos and things of that nature. So I really was attracted to that, and I guess what I want to ask you is, what were your first impressions of the Tri-Cities? Because that's where we do a lot of work at. Tri-Town is part of my identity, as everybody knows. But like when you came over here, what were you thinking this place was like? Like raw uncut thought, like
what did I think of Tri-Cities, man? I thought I already knew there was a fucking shit ton of talent here, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's one thing, you know what I'm saying, I knew off top, hella talent, you know what I'm saying, from you to Dead Rabbits to fucking to Firing Squad, to I mean, there's so much talent out here, you know. G-Loke and them fools, you know, J Skills,
G-Team,
Jabari, Alfie. I mean, there was just like so much talent out here, you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, huh? It's unreal how much talent's out here.
It's just mad talented people, you know, Hype, you know, and J Kush, all them cats, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just mad talents out here, so it's just like, I came out here and I knew, you know, I needed to, first of all, come out here and just network, you know, and just, you know, connect some dots, you know what I'm saying? You know, linking with the homies Lon Gotti and Ran Sav, you know what I'm saying? And just trying to connect with different cats out here that are really moving and really doing it, you know, and it was you know, it was a warm welcome, so
real talk,
you know, I can't complain, man. I loved it. I love it. I still love it, so I haven't moved yet, you know what I mean?
Yep. Getting back to the music, you have a real great discography that you've been dropping pretty consistent with every other year or every year since, you know, going back probably close to a decade by now as far as Illest Uminati goes. What I think is really sick is the music videos. Another great thing about you that put me on game when I started making moves and started doing things in a similar fashion was the way that you package things, the way that everything has to be accompanied by a visual, and it's the whole package, just like a major label would do back in the day, like in the 2000s. And that's what really appealed to me, because you were thinking in the future as far as the art and the creativity was going, because the stuff that we're doing now is going to last 15, 20 years. You know, they're going to listen to it forever. But you also kept the traditional roots with you. That was like the hustler motor, the engine that gets things done, because the label won't do it for you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hit the pavement, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You got you're a hybrid of both, and that's what I like to call myself.
Master P, you know what I'm saying? I just always, you know, I contributed a lot to watching Master P and E40, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing them fools, and you know, and then Tech 9, you know what I'm saying? Like those guys hit it from the ground, just running and just fucking knocking them down, you know what I mean? And so,
damn. And you've had the opportunity to work with some of those great names that you mentioned. I remember we did the show for Tech 9. We opened up over there in Boise. We rocked like 800 fucking people, man. That was one hell of a night.
That was lit,
yeah. And was that the night that the Tech rocked the alumni shirt?
I'm not sure.
It was one of those nights.
He's rocked it a couple times, so I'm not sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really dope when you see that, because it really makes you realize how real this rap thing can be if you really devote your life to it and you stick to your grind. Because I remember one instance when I first heard of Tech 9, I was at home. It was probably like 5th grade, 6th grade or some shit. And on the radio, Power 99, they did like a top 10 songs for the day. And I remember when Tech 9's song, the one about drinking, man. I forgot what it's called.
Caribou?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when that one was like number 5 on the fucking countdown, and it's crazy because that was a time when like everybody was into like Disturbed, and like music was just in a different place. So when you heard of like a rap record from the underground that was charting like on local charts, it really showed you the popularity.
But it's even bigger into the eyes of like the underground. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, like you know, if you rap about the same old shit, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, that slumps, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, I'm not against it, you know what I'm saying, right. You know, I like to make fun music still too, you know what I'm saying, but like, you know, when you see someone, you know, from the underground, like Tech I feel like he's obviously the king of the underground, so seeing him pop off on like mainstream shit, it's just like, it's insane, you know what I'm saying, it's like, damn.
Hell yeah,
you know,
doing
like,
like songs with like Eminem and fucking
like, that's
Wayne.
just crazy.
Yeah, it's great because like, it's great from my perspective because I watch like how you guys have like a relationship with each other where, you know, you guys know each other and things of that nature. And I think it's cool because some people would love to break into that peer-to-peer kind of thing with a lot of their favorite rappers and stars. And when that does happen, you don't really even notice it because it's just such an easy transition. Because one minute you're watching these guys on TV, and the next thing you're in the same room, you know, talking business and shit.
You know, you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, I just don't even think about it. I just grind and let my music speak for it. And, you know, if I get put on the shit, then I get put on. And if not, then I'm going to keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? Does it make me happy that I can call these guys friends? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to try to call these niggas and be like, hey, man, can you connect me with Snoop Dogg? Or, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what's the plug? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, I don't, you know, I just cherish the friendships. I don't want to use that shit as plugs or as a jumping stone, you know what I'm saying? Because I got my own shit popping. We got our own shit popping. You know what I'm saying? Like,
definitely.
So, you know what I mean? I don't want anyone to get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everything they do for me. And yeah, we just keep it rocking, man.
Just keep it rocking. Yeah, that's the best way, because what I realized early on is that when you want to network and you want to sometimes be friends with some of these people you network with, you really have to lead with your best foot, and you can't want things.
You don't want to be that rapper that rapper in your ear freestyling for a half hour. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. You don't want to be
let niggas
too much.
Breathe. You know what I'm saying? And you know, niggas know auras. You know what I'm saying? They'll, if they fuck with you, they'll fuck with you. If not, then just, you know, maybe you need to tone it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or just
some
that's not your crew. You know, fit in. You know, get in where you fit in. You know what I mean?
Some people need to just read the room a bit.
Read
better.
the room for real.
I think that's the problem with a lot of young rappers. They got this ADD fucking brain going on.
Let niggas breathe and read the room for real.
And I can say that because I have a fucking ADD brain, but that's why, you know, I have to smoke so much.
And you live and learn too, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, when I was young, you know what I'm saying? Like, being able to rock with E40 and shit and Bone Thugs, that shit was like fucking blew my fucking top back, you know what I'm saying? Like, being able to go after party with these guys. I'm like, you know, I'm a little fucking 16-year-old, 17-year-old fucking partying with that Tupac's Outlaws, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like crazy. It's just it's a whole different world. You know what I mean?
Damn. Just thinking about some of the shows that we rock together, like Afro Man, Riff Raff, you know, a couple of them joints. Like it's crazy how like close that we were to to whoever was performing, that we were like in the backstage area. And it was different for me because, like, for me, I have a different experience than a lot of other rappers because I'm like you, I focus more on my underground craft, and I never really cared about commercial success or the mainstream, but to realize that it's that easy to rub shoulders and even surpass immediately, that was it for me. Like, that's what I needed, because I needed motivation to continue to sharpen the craft and keep moving in a certain direction.
Oh yeah.
And I'm wondering for you, you're focused on your lane, and it served you very well because you've been able to create a universe, but do you ever feel the need to like feel competitive when it comes to the art craft, like whether it's writing hooks versus making better albums? Do you feel the need to still be competitive on some level?
I am competitive with myself. You know what I'm saying? I need to be able to. That's the only, you know, every album has to be better, period. I have to be I have to be spitting better bars, I have to have better beats, I have to have better artwork, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm only in competition with myself because I'm the only one making sure I'm getting paid, you know what I'm saying? I'm the only one I'm, you know, responsible for my own paychecks, you feel me? Right. So, like, what these other niggas is doing, it doesn't affect me at all.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, you know, the only people I'm worried about is making sure the people in my camp are getting seen too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
totally.
that's the only thing I give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm so underground. Like, I'm comfortable, but I'm still expanding. You feel me? So it's like, you know, I want my niggas to be comfortable.
Real shit.
And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? And everyone else, we kicking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's what it is.
See, that's what I love about the alumni, because when I got associated with the movement, I realized that it was something much more than just like a huge movement, like almost like a cult following of devoted, like, you know, people that follow the motto.
Family, man.
The family that follows the motto. You know what I'm saying? That follows the code of credence. So I think that there's something amazing about the fact that you're family with huge numbers of people. They know you on first and last name basis. They know a lot about you. You know a lot about them. You come in contact with them when you go to events like TIFE. Something that's a product that you've created. A whole podcast could be about TIFE, because TIFE, there's so many levels to it.
Yeah.
Like the fans, like the way that they come to the same location that we throw for the past couple of years. Do you want to talk about TIFE a little bit, like when it started, like what was the idea, the inspiration behind it, that kind of stuff?
So the inspiration for TIFE is pretty much, I had went to the gathering of the Juggalos. You know what I'm saying? And I witnessed, I was able to be there just raging, and I got to witness what the Juggalo family was as like a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, like when people, like a lot of people look at Juggalos and they just are like, they see one Juggalo. You know what I'm saying? But dude, Juggalos is a huge thing. Like, like I swear there's probably like 100,000 Juggalos. You know what I'm saying? Maybe more. You know what I'm saying? Maybe more.
It's a serious lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle, bro. And like, you cannot know what a Juggalo is until you go sweat, rage, party with the Juggalos at the gathering. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like and you ain't a Juggalo unless they consider you family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it was one of the most humbling, most fucking loving experiences I ever had. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I would love to get all my homies and all my supporters all in one place for a weekend and just hang out and party and invite some of my other homies that rap, you know what I mean? Like, and people I've networked with. And so, yeah, I sat down, you know, I think Jay Shady was there, my homie Jay Shady was there, and, you know, and I think weren't you there?
Yep.
Yeah, and I just was like, man, we got to throw a festival. And yeah, and we did it, you know what I mean? Like, the first one was crazy. We did it on my cousin's land, and he lived by some like racist cowboy hillbilly people, you know what I'm saying? And they were out there trying to intimidate us with pulling out like 50 cal fucking sniper rifles and all kinds of shit. The police got called, dude. The hella police came and rushed the place, dude. One of the homies slipped off the stage and had a concussion. Ambulance came. It was tripping. It was crazy, man. That was the crazy, you know what I'm saying? And for most people would have been like, fuck no, I'm never throwing a festival again. I'm not doing this shit. But you know what I did? As soon as I got home, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm planning. This next year is gonna be fucking even better. It's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And since then, we never had no problems, no. I mean, nothing, no fights, no nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just been love and bigger and bigger. You know, it's a family. You know, it's like it's time with my family. You know what I'm saying? Like all my homies and all my loved ones and all my supporters. You know what I'm saying? Where we can all just, embrace the music and just be like, fuck it, we raging. We gonna party for a whole weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Like, for my opinion, man, it was a big loving fucking festival. Like, as far as like the love that you receive is crazy, because people looked at you like family. You know, they were breaking bread left and right, and for the most part, they were just there to. It was kind of like what I would imagine, like what the spirit of like Woodstock and you know, that like the hippie kind of vibe would be kind of like, because if you've never gone to a show before or a festival before and that was like your first kind of festival, then you checked all the boxes as far as I'm concerned, because like the experience was just amazing. Even in the nighttime,
that's what it is more. It's like an experience, you know what I'm saying? That's what I want it to be. I want people to, you know what I'm saying? Festival's a festival, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to so many festivals and it's not nothing like TIFE is, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
TIFE is like an experience, bro.
Super lit.
Like, people go their whole year planning for next type, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's what's fucked up with COVID and shit, you know what I'm saying? It fucked it off, but trust me, this shit is just building it even stronger in my heart to make it pop as soon as all this bullshit is over, you feel me?
Yeah, I mean, fuck, people want to know, like, if there's going to be a TIFE this year or things of that nature, and I feel like if things line up the way that they're supposed to universally, then that'll happen.
Bro, even if it's private invite only, man, there's going to be a fucking TIFE, man. I'm going to make something happen.
Fuck yeah, that'd be so damn lit, because it'd be like a victory lap, because we just endured one of the craziest fucking, you know.
Dude, we have to, bro. We have to. A lot
of people living for that.
Reconnect with the fams. You know what I'm saying? Like it's period.
Yeah.
We have to reconnect with the fams. You know what I'm saying?
Man, so many crazy memories. Yeah. I mean,
period. That has to happen. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like I was against even canceling it last year, you know what I'm saying? We went through the fucking loopholes in the ringer trying to get that shit to pop.
You're right,
you know
man.
What I'm saying?
You guys were in the overtime, like overtime and overtime.
I was in town, bro, and we got the news. You know what I'm saying? Like
last second trying to make that shit work.
Yeah, like I don't even like thinking about that shit.
It's crazy because like a lot of us were ready, you know, like
everyone was.
We had
ready,
merchandise ready and things like that.
Everyone was ready.
But the cool thing about it is the bounce back, because I know that if something hits this year, it's going to be way crazier than it could have ever been.
Oh, I agree 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's already people asking me about it. And
I know. I've been getting asked like daily. I've been getting asked seriously daily about this shit.
And I told them, man, as soon as the stages open up, you know that we're not shy to it. We love doing it. You know, we'll be back on that motherfucker. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yo.
But TIFE is one of the greatest things that comes to mind when I think about like the big.
Anyone listening, you are welcome to come rage with us anytime. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see TIFE popping up, come kick it. For real.
Talk, man. I mean, it's just gonna get bigger and bigger, like you said. Man, you know the great thing is nighttime TIFE. Because whenever, you know what I'm saying, everybody just comes out, has a really good fucking time. Fires everywhere, bonfires.
Slumping music, it's just dope.
DJ playing late into the fucking night, man. This shit's crazy. And it's in Montana, right?
Montucky.
Yep. See, like, I'd never been to Montana before, man, but when I went out with Illest, when we went on our first tour, the Northwest Warpath Part 1, I believe it was, that was the first time that I got to see Montana, and that air is just so much cleaner.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
That's
just a beautiful nature out there, and I felt like reconnected with like the world, so to speak.
It makes you like rebalance your whole fucking your whole chakra and your whole
that shit,
aura.
right?
You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole rebalance of life, man. Anytime I go out there and breathe that shit, man, it's like you gotta just do it to even believe what it'll do for your soul.
Real talk, man. That speaking of that tour, I remember you took us to the old res, you know, where you grew up at. To kind of circle back to when you were talking about the origins when you were younger, and it was really gripping, man. Pause. that whole like area was just so like chilling to me, man, because there was a house that was on stilts, and like there was a couple things that I saw out there. I know that there's a lot of history out there. Was it tough growing up on the reservation? Like,
bro,
how was it?
I try to, you know, like a lot of it is like comparable to like a third world country, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's what it is, you know, it's a Native American reservation, right. So it's where the government, the United States government, pretty much sent Indians to live, you know what I'm saying? They sent Native Americans to live there,
real shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pretty much in shitty places, you know what I mean? Like, obviously the government wanted the good land, so they would send them to like horrible, like inhabitable places where it's like, you know, but obviously, you know, the people found a way to survive on them, but
right,
you
exactly.
know, it wasn't fucking ideal. And so, you know, there's just, you know, there's a lot of problems there, you know what I'm saying? But it's a beautiful place, you know, if you just, you know, I mean, I didn't realize it was such a beautiful place until after I moved, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and I'm grateful for that's how I grew up, you know what I'm saying? Because it built a hustle in me that, you know, I don't ever want to be fucking poor again, and I don't want to be broke, and I don't want to fucking have to live wondering, you know what I'm saying, if we're gonna have a full meal, you know what I'm saying? Just
you've
experienced it. I mean, my mom made sure we have full meals, but you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it was scary, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, one time I had to fucking bathe at the dam, you know what I'm saying? Because the pipes froze over, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
So, like, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit is crazy, you know what I mean?
It gets cold as fuck out there, huh?
It gets cold as fuck, bro.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And,
builds hard people, though, like you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? It'll either drown you or, you know, rise you up. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it rose me up. You feel? You know?
Yeah. I feel like if you can make it out of like if you can make it out of the toughest circumstances and situations because of your environment and the people around you, you know, when you go to school and society, you know, in your hometown, if you can make it out of those circumstances and you can like make it other places, you can make it anywhere, man. Like
you can, man. That's how I feel, man.
Like I witnessed what you did in the Northwest, as far as like where I'm familiar with Washington State, because we've been rocking for 5+ years, and what I noticed about what you've done is that the music's gotten better and better, and the fandom, like the supporters, are coming from all over the place now. It's not just in the Northwest. Do you remember when you first started seeing that you were getting international followers, and when you realized like, holy shit, this shit really is fucking working? Like, you know.
To be honest, man. I have like this, you know, like I feel like any person that's kind of successful has this complex where it's like, it's not enough. It's you know what I'm saying? Like it's not enough. It's never gonna be enough. You know, like, and then, you know, something good happens and it's like, well, shit, why did this happen? You know, like,
yeah,
what made this happen? That's, you know, like, why did this pop off? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
So for me now, you know, that was me early in my career, and now it's, you know, I just try to just do me, and like, if something pops off, then it does. You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't, I just keep trying and go harder. You know what I'm saying?
You said something right now that reminded me of a thought that I had recently. We study the losses. Like when we shoot, we attempt to do something that doesn't come out the way that we want. We study the losses and we figure out what the hell went wrong. But do we study the wins too, like that? Like what we did right and how we can move forward and get more?
Sometimes you can't even study the win because you're just already on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know you won. You know what I'm saying? Until
you don't have time
until you get that check that's from 3 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Like
real shit.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes you don't even know. Like one time I had something got picked up for a show or something. You know what I'm saying? Like and all of it, you know, but it was like 3 months ago, so I didn't even know. I didn't have the opportunity to push it because it was already over and done with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I got a fat check from it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's just like, you know, some wins you don't know. You know what I mean? Obviously, getting money is a win. You know what I'm saying? Any surprise money is a win. You know what I mean? But like, it just, you know, like you just got to keep it moving. If you don't, then you're just gonna. You could drown in your wins. You know what I mean?
You could get too complacent.
Too in your head, man, and to get your ego too popped off and just be in your ego too, you know?
Like when they say you're getting drunk off your own hype.
Yep.
Kind of thing. And do you think that's when cats just start making the same old, like, if it's music we're talking, like, they just keep making the same song or they just don't step outside of their boundaries too often?
Bro, like, I'm telling you, every city, bro, there's probably one of the best rappers you ever heard in every single city, you know what I'm saying? But what's the difference? They don't go outside their city. A lot of niggas don't.
There we go.
I don't know if they're scared to travel or if they just don't want to travel or you know, but you can't make $1 million. Well, you could. You know what I'm saying? If we lived in fucking LA or fucking Atlanta or Seattle or something like that, we could make $1 million. We could make $1 million sitting on our ass, you know what I'm saying? But out here and like being from Montana, you gotta grind. You have to hit the road, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta work 4 times as hard.
You gotta go. You gotta go and go. And if you stop, man, you're gonna fucking regret it because someone else is gonna go in your place. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't running the fastest, man, someone else is gonna outrun you.
Yeah. That's a horrible feeling, man. When you feel like you're just getting whacked, you know, just getting corny.
It is, dude.
You're washed.
Washed up. Well, yeah, that's another thing. You can't ever, don't ever doubt yourself. You know what I mean? Just
real talk.
Like, if you're fucking with it, then guaranteed. Like, if you were making your shit and you're fucking with it and you know it's dope, like, you know what I'm saying, then there's gonna be 1 million people out there that think it's dope too.
Yep.
There's billions of people on the earth.
That's
you know what I'm saying? That's what I try to tell people. I'm like, do not get discouraged because maybe your whole hometown don't like your music, but maybe the town over fucking loves your music and everyone fucks with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, don't get discouraged, man, and just keep grinding.
That's great advice, man. Like with the internet, you get a lot of tools so you can see how well you're doing on the internet, like with data and things of that nature. I found out that I got people in all over Asia that are really fucking with my music pretty hard. Like I've even gone on TikTok and seen that they're doing videos with my songs.
Sick.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what that's telling me is that I could never get that kind of attention, that specific kind of attention in my state, in my city, but because the internet exists and these tools exist,
it's like you're there with them. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You know, it's like you're right there with them. You know,
they don't even have to know the language.
Yeah, they know you.
That's what I noticed. If they connect on some sort of level with it, they can like it like they understand the whole fucking song.
Oh yeah,
even if it's a
I mean,
different
shit.
language.
I've slapped fucking all kinds of
different language.
Yeah, like remember that Korean trap?
Oh yeah, that shit. What was that?
What was it? It was hard as hell though.
Ijima.
Yeah, yep. That shit was hard as hell.
I forgot.
And then like the German rappers, full of them fools be going fucking crazy, man.
Man, I got one of the homies from London, I believe. His name's Kid Dreamer. He sent me a 16 for my song. What was it? Fucking Mermaid Kush, back on the Bowservik album, right? The Majin Buu album. So, like, have you done songs with like cats like overseas, like Germany, France? You know?
Bro, to be honest, I don't think I ever have, man.
Dude, they're listening right now.
I don't think I ever have, man. I don't think I have, to be honest. I know I've done shit with people in Canada.
If somebody was to have a dope song and just sent you an open verse, like it was like, hey, I'm from Russia or I'm from Germany.
Oh yeah, especially if they had that, especially if they were speaking their language, man. I would probably do it in a heartbeat, man.
You know what's dope about your sound, as I can see it becoming big overseas, like in those kind of countries.
I get told that a lot. I know I need to start marketing to overseas more.
And I think that artists like us are appreciated more overseas before.
I think they appreciate hip hop a lot more. You know,
in general,
like here now it's just like so infused with the culture, and a lot of it is so fucking corny, dude, and like so like watered down. You know what I'm saying? This is my personal opinion.
Right. No, that's fact.
You know, looking at it from the outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just like so intertwined and corny. And so like overseas, I feel like they're more like keen to like the lyrics and like, you know, and the beats, you know what I'm saying? Yep. And if it goes intertwined, then I think they go fucking nuts for it, you know what I'm saying? I know they're huge on like Suicide Boys and like and shit like that over there, you know what I mean? So,
and they're still on the classics too.
Oh yeah,
like
Nas and fucking all that shit.
Yep. 50 Cent. See, that's what I wanted to do, man. I wanted to do a tour overseas because I feel like overseas is even safer than America in some senses. You know what I'm saying? That full fucking 6ix9ine. He did a whole fucking European tour.
I know, I didn't get touched once.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you could really express yourself in a different.
I mean, you can just be you. I mean, America. I feel like is starting to loosen up a lot compared to like when we grew up in like the '90s and shit.
Oh, real shit. Like, it just seems worse because of the internet. The way that they kind of like the media kind of.
Well, the internet just makes it all up in our fucking face,
that's
like
true.
Every day, all day. You know what I'm saying? But like growing up, like I feel like it was kind of like rugged and stuff, like
real shit.
Like no one liked homosexual people, and like
you're right.
You know, like we were still getting off like really crazy police brutality where they were just whooping niggas' asses in front of cameras and really no one even like batted a lash at it. You know what I'm saying? Until Rodney King, you know what I mean? So it's like it's a whole different era, and I feel like it's kind of it's loosening up a lot. You know what I mean? Like it's like way more open. You know what I'm saying? People are allowed to be more open now, I feel like, than it was.
Yeah.
But still, it's nothing on Europe, you know, like Amsterdam and shit, you know what I mean? Like, where, like, sex work is legal and mushrooms and weed and all that shit is pretty out there, and you can just do whatever you want, pretty much, you know?
That's fucking crazy to think about.
And I feel like crime there is, like, minimal. Like,
non-existent.
Really, non-existent, you know what I mean?
Besides like the extremist shit that you hear about.
Well, yeah.
But at the same time, that's going to be
anywhere. Yeah,
that's going to be a default of a system. You know, a sick system.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you have certain things, like whenever you like, the world is ran on a weird mechanical level still, and we're going digital. So it's like there's a lot of cogs that we have to work out of the whole mechanism, and and we got to make sure that we're getting rid of old habits, old flaws. And what we're seeing is that some habits are so hard to break that people are starting to like misappropriate their job titles and get in trouble all over in all sorts of different ways. You hear crazy things on the fucking news. What I think is interesting about it is the internet is really putting a magnifying glass on people in a certain way, in a behavioral kind of way. And we see it because you're hearing the craziest stories in the world about like people doing things that you would never fucking think they'd do. Like, here's an example. There was a pastor, I forgot what city he was in. If I had a computer, I'd look it up. But he was caught at the altar with 2 dominatrix chicks.
Oh, shit.
And I was thinking to myself, this has got to be a Black Mirror episode of some sort of fucking way. This is too tripped out, like Twilight Zone shit. Like, why?
Niggas get all the power and think they can do anything.
That's what it is. They try to push the boundaries, and that's what gets some niggas off, right?
They try to make their own rules, man. You got money and power, man. You know, you try to make as many of your own rules as you can. Look at Epstein. You know, that fool had a whole book of new rules for himself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, that's crazy. He's got pictures with like some of the craziest people you wouldn't think he would.
Like, niggas make their own rules, bro, and then the more power you get, the more powerful friends you get, and then the more rules you can make, you know?
That's real talk. Like, I seen a picture of Bill Gates with Epstein, and I was just
I'm sure Epstein got pictures probably with everyone.
Right.
You
almost
like,
yeah, totally. Because it's incriminating on a very surface level, too. Like, if you think about it. Because if you took a picture with him, you thought it was something innocent. You know, let's say that you weren't a part of it.
Yeah. Some niggas,
right?
Some niggas like, shit, this billionaire wants to take a picture with me? Hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what would you do? That's what I would do. I'd be like, shit, you know, if you didn't know any better, you know what I mean? Be like, hell yeah, shit, come, I'll take a picture with you. Fucking.
Imagine in less than 30 years, you'd be incriminated for
I know,
some of the
you'd
worst.
be getting hated on. And that's what sucks now because, you know what I'm saying, you don't know, you know, like, niggas you associate could be really on
evil.
Some crazy shit right now, you know what I'm saying? You never know.
Real talk.
You could be hanging out with your neighbor and he could be a mass murderer or something crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know, man.
That's kind of like everybody's kind of got a mask that they wear in a sense, and there's some people who are really hideous underneath the mask.
Yeah.
So that, no pun intended, because we do have to literally wear masks right now. It's still a mandate, but I just think it's interesting how the internet really magnifies a lot of things that people don't think of because it's all like, you know, this is what I do. You know, I'm on social media. I'm recording myself. I'm putting myself on fucking Snapchat, whatever. It's become such a huge part of people's lives that they really don't realize. It's
another part of life now.
Yeah, it's almost like
it is your other life right now.
It's like a cyborg, like a augmented reality, and it's an attachment to you.
Yeah, it is, dude.
You live in a virtual reality.
Niggas literally wake up and grab their phone first thing in the morning.
Real talk. And you know what they say about doing that? That it rewires your brain for reacting all day. So all day you'll be reacting like you're getting notifications.
Oh, I know.
Isn't that crazy? So like
I'm addicted to my shit, though. I can't lie.
But they say before, like if you were to not look at your phone in the first hour that you wake up, that you would operate differently throughout the day. You would have like
better.
Yeah, you would better. They say before when you wake up and when you're going to sleep.
Because they're just waking up pissed.
Right.
When you're waking up, so if you get a bad message, you're just fucking pissed all day.
Exactly.
That happens to me sometimes, you know. We be getting haters every once in a while, and then they always get courage in the middle of the night when they're drinking, and then come on Facebook talking some stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? So then I wake up to that shit, I'm like, fuck these motherfuckers, man.
Man, we had to block a few people over the years.
Niggas be getting, back in the day, they would have just got their asses whooped, bro. But nowadays, we can just block them and just get them out of our lives, man.
Yeah, because they don't have the motivation to get out of their house.
They're not coming out anyway, yeah. Them niggas ain't coming out anyway.
They were on lockdown before a pandemic, for sure. No, but see, that's why I never get too caught up in like what other artists are doing. But at the same time, you
gotta watch and cheer on niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a
totally.
Must,
you got to make the separation because
it's
it's gonna be a group of people like that come at you all at once, and you kind of have to identify who's what and you know what your relation is to them. Like there's a lot of cats who want to do songs, but I don't just do songs right away. I actually have to check out your music and I have to see what you're doing. If you don't promote a record, I don't see. It's a one-sided thing. I don't want to promote the whole record by myself.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the way I look at it, it's 50-50.
I promote it. Yeah. If someone puts me on and I see him pushing it, I'm sharing it every time I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
And you know, and if not, then that's on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to push my own shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm a millionaire where I can just pay niggas to
totally
push everything.
See, but it's a little different because you're getting paid for verses in those kind of instances. But then there's collaborations where people want to trade songs, and you know when they want to work on that kind of level.
Yeah.
And that's more what I was pertaining to because you're right. You're totally right. When you get paid for a joint, it's like you're making a special verse for somebody. That, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like let's say the homie comes to you and says, hey, let's I'll do a song on your album, you do one on mine. line, and then it's just a weird process. Like, really...
yeah, I mean, if niggas want to if my homies want to have me on their joints, I'm game. I'm jumping on that shit. But for my own albums,
Selective.
I'll ask. If just know if I want you on the joint, I'll ask. I'll invite you to jump on it. You know what I'm saying? But me, I'm so like, I'm in my ways, so it's like it's my album. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm not the nigga to get like a million collabos. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my personal art. This is my personal touch. You know what I'm saying? And if I feel like you will sound good, being a part of what sound I need for this certain track or this certain track.
It's like movie directing.
Exactly, like putting the parts together. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I'm not the best at singing. I can't sing, so I'm gonna have the homie Caleb or someone do the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like
whatever it calls for.
If I need someone that's gonna spit some straight up smart shit, I'm hitting Tory. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And
facts.
Like that's just what it is. If I need someone to give me a fire beat with a fire verse or a fire crazy hook that I know is gonna be catchy, I'm hitting indie. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
So that's just how I work. Like I'm making my own album.
Mm-hmm.
If I do a fucking, when I start doing like a compilation or like even a mixtape, then hit me and be like, hey, look, can I drop a 16 on your mixtape or on your compilation? Hit me, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, come on, be a part of it, you know what I mean? I want, especially if it's like a big compilation, I want as many homies as I can be a part of it. If I can get 100 of my homies on it, then I want all 100 on it, you know what I'm saying? But for my album, it's, I think, my fans want to hear what I have to say, you know what I'm saying? Because they're buying my album, so I feel like they want to hear what I have to say and
what's your story?
What's happening, they want to hear what's happening with me. They don't want to, I mean, they do like, I'm sure they do like when I do the collabs with bigger artists and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But like, for the most part, I'm sure that they just want to hear a little piece of me.
Yeah, you give them a nice mix of everything, because you got your solo tracks that are really solid. You got some classic solo tracks, but then you got your great collab tracks that you've done. Like, one of my favorites is the Crooked Eye joint that you did. Another one is the Ritz one that you've done. You can go on and on about all these collabs that you've done. What's your favorite collab that you've done where you're like, man, I can't believe that shit came out hard, and that's what I wanted to do right there? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have a track?
My favorite collab is probably this recent one that I just dropped, Mr. Freeze, man, with Jamie Madrox and Blaze, man. Blaze, your dead homie, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's just crazy, because I was like, growing up, like Twisted and Blaze, those, I fucked with them super tough, as well as ICP and Tech and all them fools, you know what I'm saying? So like, growing up, that was like, there was a kid in the town I grew up in named Joel. And he was just like a huge ICP fan, had everything you could think of, all the wrestling tapes, everything ICP, you know what I'm saying? Yep. So that's how I got hooked onto that shit, like, early, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, this is the fucking coolest shit ever, these fools are painting their faces, running around like demons, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
just fucking demon clowns, this is the craziest shit ever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been, so being able to do a track with Blaze and Jamie, that shit was like a blessing feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I felt so blessed and honored to have them not just be on the track, but they helped hype up the hook and shit. I was just like, oh my god, man, this is a blessing.
Man, that's fucking crazy. They were legendary to you, and you gotta do a track with them. The song's really good. I love the beat, man. Who produced that joint, that beat?
Grimbeard.
Shout out to Grimbeard, man.
Yeah,
he hit me up too. He was saying, hey, I got some instrumentals I want you to check out, so I gotta hit him back.
Yeah.
That's what I like about you have a platform with your music and everything that you do, but you're always constantly working with the art community, the people who are close and nearby to you. That's what I like. I appreciate that you give opportunity to anybody. As long as you guys can vibe on some sort of level, then you present it to the world, and I kind of try to do a little bit of that too myself. So salute to you, man. Much kudos on that. I think that a guy like you and a guy like me, I don't want to toot my own horn too much, because I always do that, but whenever you put somebody in the community, this starts to be waves, and then you start to see inspiration pop up all over the place. If anybody has connection to the internet where a lot of this is visually going on, they can really see who's moving and shaking in real time, because anybody knows that when you see a music video come out, you're like, God damn, somebody's already working on an album. You know, like they're about to set the city on fire. Because nobody's dumb. They know what everybody's doing. They see it. Yeah. So if you want to be the talk of the town, the talk of the summer, it's real easy to do it when you know that everybody's watching each other. You know that they're watching each other. And it's crazy because like there's been a couple times where unexpectedly I dropped, I think personally, one of my best records, Tri-Town Tory, and I noticed the change of the climate immediately. Do you ever, like, you remember when you were watching like artists growing up, like Tupac and Biggie going at it, and it was a special era because they were trying to be the top dog in rap, you know, like one was going to be better than the other. I love that, man, where you have two people like when Jay-Z and Nas went at it, you know what I'm saying? What was your most favorite like hip hop beef or rap battle, like back and forth, that you could think of growing up?
Growing up, fuck, I don't even know. I didn't even really pay attention to that shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? I always thought beef was corny, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always thought beef was... That's why I never joined no gang, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, shit, I got homies that are Bloods, homies that are Crips, you know what I'm saying? I just was like, I have no problem getting along with anybody, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go out beefing with niggas for no reason.
On a personal level,
rap beef is just so corny to me. It's just like, dude, you guys are beefing over nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, take care of your kids, nigga. Hang out with your family, you know what I'm saying? Spend your time doing something positive, you know what I'm saying? Build, you know, like, take up art or something. Like, why are you trying to beef with me, nigga? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, so I never really paid attention to that shit at all growing up. Like, rap beef was not even anywhere in my vicinity, though. The first time I heard it, like, really paid attention to rap beef was The Game.
Yep.
And he was beefing with someone. I don't even remember.
Probably 50.
No, it was before he was beefing with 50.
Oh man, The Game was his whole career's been
he grew up on beef, but that was like maybe Yuck Mouth. I think that's who it was.
Okay.
Yuck Mouth.
Yeah, shout out to The Game. Shout out to Yuck Mouth.
Shout out to Yuck, yeah, man.
I love, because I remember when I was growing up, I got really into Cash Money Millionaires right away. And that led to, like, Nelly, when Nelly was coming out with Country Grammar. And I was in the 2000s real heavy because...
I fuck with Cash Money super tough, man. That was my shit, dog.
Heavy, man. Rough Riders, Cash Money, Rockefeller Records.
No Limit, man. Come on now.
No Limit. You know what I'm saying?
Master P. Shout out to Master P, man.
3-6 Mafia.
Oh, yeah. Fuck
Outkast.
Yeah. 3-6.
Like, we can go on and on and on about that.
We had the best era, period.
Exactly. That's what we learned off of. We learned from a multitude of different influences,
we learned from the best Dr. Dre's. We learned from the fucking Eminems. The fucking Bone Thugs.
That's why these young artists need to understand that the music
sucks,
that came
what's
behind.
horrible, I feel bad for the younger generation because they get like one and dones, like nothing but one and dones, man. And I'll be feeling sad. I'm like, damn.
Because there's no more artist development, man.
There isn't, because niggas just want that next new check, you know what I'm saying? It's like new cars nowadays, you know, like the industry, you know what I'm saying, treats rap niggas like new cars, you know what I'm saying? This
disposable.
Bang, bang, okay, he's in and out, bam, next one, in and out, you know what I'm saying? And if niggas float, they float on their own, and if not, then they just wash out and just...
Yeah, you're right. The only reason you can stay is if you can float on your own. Because these labels will not make sure that you're incubated in any kind of way.
Ain't enough money to. They got to get new money every time, you know what I'm saying? They pay one nigga and gotta, you know, if you don't pay it back, then cycle them out and make them pay it back in the long run, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they put motherfuckers in debt forever. See, and I think that's interesting for the artists that are listening to it right now, because they want to get any kind of game and understand how the music industry works. That's how it works now. Like, it's a whole different way than it was in the 2000s and 90s, man. Like,
if you are not ready to fucking sell out and give your ass up to the industry, bro, you are don't even try, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, like that's it. You know what I mean? Like,
you see these artists who come out with dyeing their hair and fucking doing their nails and shit.
Doing it the most, bro.
And you're like, these guys, that's what they're doing. They're selling out. They hope that can get them popping with the youngest crowd that listens to music. Yeah. And that's horrible.
Because it's the young girls buying albums.
Yeah. And the young boys are copying the way these motherfuckers look.
And so it's just a big old fucking nail polish tornado, nigga.
and it's just disgusting because when I was coming up, you always listened to the OGs because they had something to say.
Knowledge, man, because they've been through it, man.
Nas, Pac, when I was growing up, man, once I found out lyrical rap, I'm like, this is what I'm
talking about. The real OGs, nigga, like Danger, Reality, you know what I'm saying, Blackjack, you know what I'm saying,
real shit,
Snipe Dogg, real OGs, you know what I'm saying, like my real OGs put me on the game, you know what I'm saying, like
hell yeah,
you know what I mean, like, and they got put on by the originators, you know what I'm saying, so it's like all this new shit is just, I don't even think about it, bro,
it's
to be
new
honest.
Shit.
Like, I'll tell you one thing, I do slap the Migos, you know what I'm saying, I fuck with the Migos super tough, and that's about it, bro. Other than that, you know what I'm saying, we slapping, if it's anything that was on the radio, it's gonna be some OG Unit, DMX, Eminem, you know what I'm saying, that's about it, you know what I mean, like, I do not listen to new shit.
See, like me personally, I support and I listen to like all of our homies. You know,
I do fuck with Drake though too. Shout out to Drake, man.
The people that we listen to, you know, like I listen to your albums, I listen to Overtime's albums, Indies, and I support in that kind of way because that's like.
Oh yeah, I'll way rather listen to the homies shit than
over
some
anything.
Industry shit. Yeah, I'd way rather listen to the homies that I know personally than to listen to. I'm not gonna listen to some Weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no shit.
I listen. That's what I do. Like when I go on the road and homies hand me CDs, I'm listening to that shit. That's what I'm doing. I'm listening to it. You know what I mean? Like
I remember that, man. We used to get suitcases of just CDs.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. I'm like, man, if you want me to hear your music, like if you want me to actually listen to it, give it to me while I'm on the road because I will guarantee it gets played at least one time, if not 3 times in the system. You feel me?
Real talk, man. Yeah, man. So many CDs. I remember I came home with like
I love it, bro.
12 different artists.
I love it.
It's one of my favorite things, and I noticed that you do something called the Black Mystery Box, right?
Yep.
And you throw a lot of the merchandise in, and
I do.
Sometimes you mix
and match.
Word.
Yeah, I spread the word, man. I spread the love.
I love that because that right there is something that no major corporation could do. That's something that's underground. That's do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you're giving somebody a rare opportunity to hit ears they would never hear.
What it is, it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're not only, they're not only letting me hear the whole album, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I'm giving someone else the opportunity to listen to the album. You might get a fan for life that's going to end up buying all your shit from here on out.
You get 2 listens out of 1 and a bare minimum. And I think that's really incredible. Like, if I was coming up as an artist and I heard somebody offering that kind of opportunity, I don't know how, like, I wouldn't want to be down. And I open the
gate to everyone. I'm like, hey, man, if you're serious about your shit, send me some shit, bro, and I'll get it in there, you know what I'm saying? Or give it to me while I'm on the road, you know what I mean? And I'll get it in there, and you might have a fan for life off of that, you know?
Yeah, man. Like, there's been some times where I've seen names get bigger and bigger over the years, and I have their original CD that when I first met them, and it's really cool. Stay connected with some of those artists over the years because when you get a CD and you like it, you remember the person. So
sure.
A lot of these people become your peers, and they sometimes surpass you and go even further.
Hey, man, I'm all for that, man. If I'm always like, man, if I can help one motherfucker blow up and make them and help them get to become a millionaire, dude. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they fucking turn around and look back and I helped them, you know what I'm saying? So they can help me, you know what I'm saying, somehow maybe.
Yeah, totally. Extend an opportunity.
Yeah, an opportunity. I don't need no money. Give me an opportunity. Put me in a room where I could get something off the ground,
Yeah, get something running. So I have to ask, is there plans for an album dropping this year?
I don't really foresee it. I'm like just trying to take my time on this project, and I'm only probably like, I don't even know how many songs deep I'm in it. Probably not even 3 all the way finished, and then like 4 more in the works. I'm not trying to rush this joint. I don't have a reason to. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we can just go tour and do festivals right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to take my time and work on it when I'm feeling like working on it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to like pressure. Sometimes I feel pressured. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, I need to fucking hurry up and do this.
Drop something to keep up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm just like not even living like that right now, I got the comic book shit going, so that's fucking rolling really tough. So I'm trying to,
Hey, we could drop our EP, that's always
I know, we should.
Because that's already done.
Yeah,
almost.
I have no plans to drop no projects as far as my solo shit this year, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, EPs in between albums sometimes hit different.
I like dropping EPs, man. I fucking love it. I wish I could do more. I wish I had more time to do music.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, me too, man. Like, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things because I'm working on an album myself. I started working on this project called Sirens, and I haven't talked to anybody about Sirens, so I'll break it down a little bit what I want to do. I'm taking the two meanings of sirens, like the emergency sirens, like in a tragic situation, and also sirens, like the
girls,
yeah,
the
exactly,
creatures.
Yeah. So I'm bringing it together in one world. So this is gonna be a concept album. It's a storyline. It's gonna kind of bring both worlds together as far as the meaning, and it's gonna be very like cinematical in a sense. I want the music videos to kind of reflect what the lyrics are, but it's gonna be basically like somebody's killing their ego, coming back to reality, but also them being hypnotized by a siren.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be kind of that reflected. It's gonna appeal to a couple different demographics, so to speak, but it's gonna be niche. And what I want to do is I want to have like certain collaborations that would make sense. Like,
gotta have some singing on there, some female singing.
Definitely.
If you don't do that, you're gonna have to slap yourself.
Yeah, because it won't make too much sense if there isn't the feminine energy throughout the project. And I have some ideas for skits that I want to do where they're gonna be kind of situational. But you're right. But what I was thinking is like, that's why I asked you earlier about the movie. You know, like how making it. Your albums are kind of like you're directing a movie.
Gotta be.
You know what I'm saying? And I also look at it like you're building a house too. Like you're making the main living room, then you got like the kitchen, the upstairs. The album's really got to be multifaceted. Do you treat your albums different than your mixtapes, than your EPs, than everything? A single song with a music video. Do you approach things differently, or do you kind of just throw, you know, like, I'm gonna throw my elements together and see what I'm making? You know what I'm saying?
So for the longest time, I was stuck in my ways with like, okay, I need to have at least 3 music videos for each album I drop. So I would start dropping videos like January, February, March, drop my album in March, you know what I'm saying? Set up a tour for fucking May or June, go on tour, come back, write my album, record it, do a winter tour, a Northwest Warpath tour, you know what I'm saying? And then repeat. With COVID, threw a kink in the shit, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to tour, wasn't able to really do anything, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So that's why I'm just like, you know, how can I focus when I can't really focus, you know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing to focus. There's no prize at the end of the end of the day of recording, you know what I'm saying? What's my prize, you know what I'm saying? Not just to fucking sit on music, you know what I'm saying?
It can't be just for the same things,
yeah,
right? You gotta,
I need a prize. I need to go out there and win my prize and hit the stage and tour and get my prize money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
totally. So the
get
shit
my
really,
trophies.
the shit fucked your whole cycle.
It did, but luckily, you know, with the comic books, that I can do from home and the graphic design and shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it did. It fucked up my rap hustle. It was super tough, you know what I'm saying? You know, I make most of the percentage of my money on tour, on the road, selling merch and from show money, you know what I'm saying? So I just had to step my game up even stronger in the graphics and learn more shit and work harder on the comic books and promote harder, you know.
And it doesn't just have to be art people. They can work with you, and you can do graphic design work for them, like companies, businesses.
Oh yeah.
How could they reach you if they wanted to find you?
I'm everywhere, man. Illest Uminati. If you look up Illest Uminati, you know, I'm sure Tory will spell it right in the title. You know what I'm saying? So just copy and paste that.
I'll tag it. And also people like they can find you on any social media platform.
Anywhere, bro.
You got Twitter.
And feel free to message me. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. Just hit me. You know what I mean?
I've sent some homies your way, you know, that needed some logo work or things of that nature. And I think that's what I love. I live for that. When you have resources and you can share with people. It's like collaborating too, in a sense, because sometimes the people who you give the information to are really good friends or their coworkers or things of that nature. Like I have a homeboy who's starting a whole kennel club sort of deal situation.
Dogs?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I really want to plug him in and get, like, if he needs a logo design, he can go to Illest, you know, because Illest can do everything. He can.
What is he breeding? What kind of dogs?
I think it's pit bulls.
Okay.
Yeah. See, and like, and that's what I think is dope about what you do is you're so versatile that you can listen to the way that somebody's idea is in their head, and then you can bring it to life, kind of like a tattoo artist would do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to hit my dude up. Not even if you're local or regional, you can hit him up from anywhere, because the internet works that way.
Works that way.
It's an amazing thing, man. The hustle of the year, man. You're one of the best hustlers that I've seen, because you figure out how to do so much in so little time. We only have 24 fucking hours in a day. I think this pandemic time period was kind of like a nice break in a sense.
It was kind of a nice break. I agree, man. Sometimes you need a fucking nice mental break. You know, I was kind of stressful at the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying? But
didn't it feel weird just kind of not doing anything, just being in place?
Felt horrible.
Felt off. Man.
I lost my mind there for a little bit. I feel like, but yeah, now it's, you know, like, I know it'll get better. You know what I'm saying? It'll open up eventually, and as soon as it does, you know, I'm gonna just come 100 times harder than I did. It's gonna be I'm in a whole different mind state than I was prior, and I've had time to, you know, reevaluate everything pretty much as far as my career goes. You know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna be balls to the wall when we can get back on the road and touring and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, totally, man. Let's circle back to the Salve.
Okay.
I think that the Salve is really like it's got a whole life of its own. It's really its own thing, its own like universe in a sense. What are some of, like, can you tell us a little bit about the Salve, you know, origin, kind of like the idea coming to you?
The Salve, so pretty much, you know, I really wanted to make a comic book, you know what I mean? Like, I was, you know, collecting and spending so much on comics. I was like, fuck, man, you know what I'm saying? I might as well try it myself, you know what I'm saying? You know, hustle to fund the collection, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And so, you know, like, you know, I just did it. First of all, I didn't, you know, really know if it was going to catch on. You know, I pretty much just wanted to prove to myself I can do whatever I want.
Right.
I want to make a fucking comic book. I'm gonna make a comic book. And so, you know what I mean? Like, I really was thinking, like, who needs a representative? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's fucking tons of black superheroes now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's tons of, you know, obviously, I feel like the Asians are really not. They need to be more represented. You know what I'm saying? But also, you know, I felt like Native Americans were represented horribly through comics throughout history. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, all these fucking Native American superheroes are whack, bro. Like, honestly, personally, I was like, man, these fools are so corny, dude. Like, you know, I'm like, fuck this. We're doing a Native, and, you know, like, you know, I just wanted someone of my peoples could look up to, and, you know, be like, yeah, this motherfucker's a badass, and he is a savage. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, hell yeah.
It's pretty much what, you know, I wanted to make, you know, like what white people were saying about natives, like they're savages and brutal, you know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to put out there, you know what I'm saying? This is what you wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
This is what you motherfuckers wanted. This is what you're gonna get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you reappropriated. You created a new narrative, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's, man, it's awesome to watch that, the origins of the creation of, like, the image, the visual. Like, how did it come to you? Like, this is what I want this motherfucker to look like.
Well, I was like, shit, what's the scariest thing in the woods, bro? I was like, mountain lions. To me, mountain lions are the scariest because they'll hunt you down. But I'm like, well, mountain lions, you know, are cats. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, you know, niggas in the hood gonna be like, I'm not scared of no goddamn big old cat. Everyone's scared of a freaking bear.
Cat.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone's scared of a big ass freaking grizzly bear.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So I was like, shit, I'm gonna have them fucking, you know, it's gonna be a, you know, like there will be a battle between a bear and a man. You know what I'm saying? And then
the man comes out victorious.
Yeah. After it all, he does. You know what I mean?
That's fucking incredible because it's a very powerful image. It's a symbol in itself.
Yeah.
There's so many. You could say 1,000 words for what that symbol is. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed that too about your art is very symbolic. There's a lot of symbols that you create. You understand the power of a symbol. Like I understand the power of a symbol.
The world is ran off of symbols.
Yeah, history.
Just think, McDonald's.
Totally.
Oh yeah, history too. Shit. Julius Caesar's the what is that? The wreath, the head thing. What is that? You know.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
Symbolic for them. The crown of the
crown wreath.
You know, the crown wreath, whatever. I don't know what the real word for it is.
Right. Totally.
You know, but yeah, symbols throughout. You know, the Freemasons, even that shit. You know what I mean? Like.
And you're right when you say that it runs the world, because the world kind of runs off of like a simulation, sort of, you know, the red light, green light, you know, and how we commute through our day-to-day life, you know, how businesses work because we're commuting and we're going through and purchasing, spending money and things of that nature. Like the way that life works is a lot because the symbols are allowing people to understand easy information fast.
Oh yeah.
So like there's really something really powerful about being above that and looking at that for what it is, and then understanding that you can use that for your art and your craft to get your goals and your accomplishments done. I think that that's some master level type shit that not a lot of people could ever really wrap their mind around.
Well, I don't think, you know, I think you kind of have to be kind of artistic and kind of like know about design to even know like about that world, you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Most people, it's oblivious, you know, most people are oblivious to it, you know. They see Nike, okay, that's Nike. They see Adidas, okay, that's Adidas. McDonald's, the M, that's McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? To me, I'm like, well, shit, that symbol right there, it's so simple. The McDonald's arches.
Yeah.
It looks like fries.
Yeah. It does.
How many billions of people have they served now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
how much money do they make every single day?
That's very true. And I was listening to something about McDonald's, so it's awesome that you brought that up. And if you think about it, their superstar is their fries.
Yeah.
Because without their fries, McDonald's isn't.
I love McDonald's fries, dog. I hate McDonald's, but I love their fries.
There's really nothing like the McDonald's fry.
Nothing, bro. It's so fucking good. You're gonna make me want to eat some McDonald's fries, bro. Shout out to McDonald's. I need the Uminati meal. You know what I'm saying?
But you're right, man. And it's amazing how you can have like such a powerful logo, and then the product of the logo is such an essential thing to day-to-day life. If you think about like the fucking fries, when we were on tour, we ate McDonald's every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? There's something like Nike and the Air Force One, or you know, Jordan and his brand. Like the symbol creates the product.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
identity.
The identity.
Gives it an identity.
Yeah, that's why Kanye's so. I think that Kanye is really good at what he does, because he does a lot of research and he studies things like this too as well. There's like design, the art and world design.
Yep.
Like I was looking into some of Virgil's stuff, like how people talk about him, and even some of his lectures and seminars that he does. And he's really a brilliant guy. He really approaches the world in a different way. Are you intrigued by that world of like extra art, like the architectural like aspect of the like design?
Bro, I gotta tell you, I was fucking with Virgil so hard.
Yep.
And then he did that Pop Smoke cover, and then I just lost faith, bro.
Damn, that cover was ass.
I was like, bro, you cannot do my mans like that, bro.
I'm glad you brought that up.
You cannot do Pop like that, bro.
We were slapping Pop hard, bro.
Rest in peace to Pop Smoke. Rest in peace to DMX, man.
Man, that was his first L that I could think of.
I was like, bro, that's the biggest L you could have ever took in my book, bro.
He took Kanye's dream job.
Oh man, I was like, man.
Shout out to Virgil.
I mean, Virgil, if you want to send me some Off-White though, dog, I will sport that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that Pop Smoke cover, I felt my soul almost dropped, dog. I was like, no.
What'd you think of the Off-White dress that Kid Cudi was wearing? Did you see that,
bro? Listen, man, you know me, dog. I'm the biggest Kurt Cobain fan in the fucking world, bro.
Yep.
Kurt pulled that shit off and made it dope, you know, and made it, you know,
what it
grunge,
is,
dog.
what it is, yeah.
Kid Cudi just fucking put a dress on, dog. You feel me?
You're right.
Like, this nigga just decided to put a fucking dress on, dog. He didn't even make it cool. He just put a fucking dress on. Like, don't say you're fucking doing a homage to Kurt Cobain, nigga. No, you just wanted to wear a fucking female dress, dog. Just come out and say it, bro. Lil Nas is doing it, bro. You can do it too, bro. Don't fucking... Ain't no one gonna hate on you. If you came out there, I would have so much more respect for you and just said, yeah, man, I'm doing this for, you know what I'm saying? Like,
can
I
you
just want
believe
to
he
wear a
tweeted
dress,
that?
nigga.
He tweeted that.
I'm like, nah, man. Kurt, his was cool, man. He like, you know, it almost looked like a Hawaiian shirt. You know how he was rocking it. You know, Cudi, nigga, he was in there just like in a dress, nigga. I'm like,
the whole nine.
Man, someone should have told him.
Hey, bro, you're right, because it was ironic when Kirk did it. Like it was ironic. Like it wasn't supposed to be. It already
happened. Just do it. Let Kirk just have that. He had
Cudi came out trying to be fitted.
Yeah, like this nigga just like he's like, yeah, nigga, does this dress make me look fat? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it.
And then he always tries to sauce it up with the mental illness angle, because Cudi's all about, like, he says he's all about being an advocate for mental health and things of that nature. But like, I think you're right when you say that he uses it as a shield. You the whole, oh, this is a Kurt Cobain tribute. He used that as a shield, almost like.
Oh yeah. As soon as motherfuckers started hating on him, I'm sure he started.
Because he's not secure enough to wear the fucking dress, let alone, it be his own idea.
Yeah.
And then it came out that he was gonna put it on a website and it was gonna come out with a whole line of different shit. And I was just like, man, you know what? I know how I feel about this, but I don't know if the.
I was never even a fan of Kid Cudi, even when he dropped that one song. So I don't really give a fuck about Kid Cudi.
I don't really listen to his music, man. To tell you the truth,
I know a lot of people do got love for him and shit, but I just wrote him off in my book for show.
Yeah, I thought that was pandit. Like that was the word for that was just disgusting, man. Like overall, like I don't give a fuck if you wear a dress, go wear a fucking dress, but it's your fucking idea. Don't try to say that it was, you trying to use a shield to protect you from criticism.
Don't use my nigga Kurt, bro.
Yeah, because he's laughing at you from, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kurt Cobain and
Kurt would laugh at this nigga if he did that too, bro. He would be like, "This is corny, bro."
He'd be like, "What the fuck?" He'd be rolling in his. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
You're really influenced by grunge as a whole, or specifically Nirvana? Like
Nirvana, man. I fucking love Nirvana, bro. I'm like diehard Nirvana fan, man.
They represent Seattle and the Northwest really well.
Northwest for sure.
Really well, man. They've always
That's like the
iconic.
first song I can like really remember, like, you know what I mean, like being like huge, you know what I mean, like,
yeah.
And then like knowing from the Northwest that really like,
oh yeah,
like, oh man, what?
It was like it was like winning a championship.
Because that was before like I was really into like rap and shit, you know what I'm saying? It was like,
yeah,
I mean, I guess I've always been into rap, but like it was, like, it was like, different music,
totally different.
Because we grew up in like the 90s where it was like MTV where they actually played music videos, you know what I'm saying? So there's different things,
We had Sir Mix-a-Lot. We had Sir Mix-a-Lot and fucking Nirvana, that was a Northwest representation.
Pearl Jam too, yeah.
Pearl Jam, yeah. Alice in Chains, I believe, even.
Yep.
Right? So like, I think that I can relate to the music because everybody has, a period in their life, and some people haven't escaped it yet. Shout out to them. Hopefully they can figure it out. But where depression is really heavy on your mind and on your soul, and sometimes the only thing that feels good is listening to music of people who can relate and understand. Yeah. So when I heard Teen Spirit and some of these records, it hit a good spot. And it felt like everything was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have a connection with the music like that on that kind of level, like an emotional level, like where his records were like medicine almost in a sense?
Bro, it's like his music, bro, is just like, it's just so creative and artistic, dog. You know what I'm saying? And what really solidified it is that they dropped a journal. Mm-hmm. I still have it, and it's like of all his like notebook stuff.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Like all his like
I've seen that, yeah.
Like his poems and some of his drawings and stuff like that. And that just like, I read that probably like 30 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like.
Any takeaways?
I'm just like, man, he was just so like, I feel like beyond his time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and obviously he was, because they fucking blew up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just feel like it was probably a lot too fast for him, you know what I'm saying?
Too fast, and it was against what he stood for.
It was, you know what I'm saying? He, I don't think he wanted to be famous. I think he wanted to be known, but not famous, you know what I mean?
He stayed the same. He never conformed to what the industry was trying to make him do, and that's probably why he couldn't be around anymore, because some of the artists, they cut their life short, subconsciously, if not consciously.
Yeah.
So we also have Jimi Hendrix too, from this area.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Quincy Jones too.
Yeah. But as far as how
Ray
iconic...
Charles used to be out in Seattle too. He was out there in Seattle for a while.
Over here at Ray's, the venue that's over here in Richland, they've been open for fucking years. And Stan's the bartender. He's the son of Ray, the original opener. And he told me that Frank Sinatra Jr. and Tina Turner had performed there at different times, of course, but like throughout the history of them being open.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like, man, that's pretty iconic. I don't know a lot of places that can say the same thing. And I've performed there many times. I've thrown my own shows there. I broke bread with them. So it's really sad to see a place like that kind of go away.
I know.
Our first show that we did together was at Ray's.
I loved Ray's.
Man, that was a venue.
They had that motherfucker popping all the time.
That was one of those classic venues, man.
It was, man.
It really felt
right there too in the Uptown. Perfect, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. I remember, man, that night was crazy, man. I remember hearing your songs. I was like, this motherfucker makes good music, man. I could definitely do hype,
Yeah, hell yeah.
vocals to his shit. And that's exactly what I ended up doing. We went on tour, and you let me get on stage and rock some lyrics with you. And that's some of my best memories come from that when it comes to this rap shit. Like when we performed for Tech, and
we've done some good shit, dog.
We've done a lot of good stuff, and it's crazy because we can only share so much of it, and it's a lot crazier than what we share. And those are memories that I'm always going to rock with, and they also bring me to the next stage that I'm going to, in the next chapter, in the next plateau that we're going to be at for a while, as far as creating and making art regionally and all over the fucking world. So the Salve, we kind of chopped it up about the Salve. That brings us to this next project that you're working on, that you just dropped, Dead End. Man, my first take when I saw this was like, oh my god, like, he's gonna do it again. He's gonna knock it out the fucking park again, because the imagery and it was just so iconic right off the top. Like, I have a good eye of seeing what's gonna last for a long time, and I seen that, and I was like, man, this is gonna be some shit. And then the more and more I got close to it, I really believe it is gonna be something great.
Hell yeah.
What can you tell me about Dead End, as far as how it all came to be? And
Dead End is pretty much, what I'm saying, obviously, with the Salve, I kind of put him on a straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying, like, he is what he is, and and I don't want to stray from that, and just like, like, I do want to do one shots and shit like that, but I don't want to stray too much from his character. You know what I'm saying? With Dead End, I wanted to just throw every single thing I fucking love into one comic. You know what I mean? Like, I love aliens, I love monsters, I don't love war, but it's something that I've studied. I like history. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love history. I like demons, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm whipping it up. Like, I was just like, what is the most craziest shit I could just piece together? You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's how that came apart. You know what I'm saying? Or came to be.
Fuck yeah, dude. When you're creating one of these comics, do you create a skeleton that's words first, like a script almost, or do you start drawing things out and writing like words with it? What's your like rough draft?
I run it through like a movie. I write it. I'm visualizing a movie in my head. I don't really know what they're saying, but I know what's happening, and I know what I want to happen, and I know where the story's gonna go and where it's gonna start. After that, I'm like, okay, this is what I want to happen on this page. In this panel, this will happen. In this panel, this will happen. I send it to the artist. The artist does it up, sends it to me, and then that's when I come up with the scripting. And I'm like, okay, so now this is what happened, but this is what he should say. This is what he'll say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Makes it easier that way, so then I'm not like in the beginning phase just getting stuck. Like, oh my god, what should he say? What should he say right here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Then I have it already visual, and this is, it makes it like, okay, well, this is perfect for him to say this right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes it a lot easier.
Smooth transition,
fluid flow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. And I noticed that there's a lot of homage I guess you would say, if you're being fancy.
Homage.
Yeah. In the comic book world, where there'll be a lot of tilts of the hats, like
little things. Got to.
And I noticed that that's a big thing with your art as far as the comics go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It kind of reminds me of like Quentin Tarantino, like in the movie form, like how his movies are just so symbolic, has so much meaning, and sometimes he's telling more than one story.
I'm like a big fan of Easter eggs, so that's what I like to throw Easter eggs, even like with my own universe I'm building. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like to throw I'm throwing Easter eggs all throughout it. You know what I mean? Like,
people ain't gonna find them till later
on. Yeah. They won't know until they know. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that you say that you're a fan of Easter eggs, because that leads us in a good direction. I wanted to ask you about this. Easter eggs are really interesting because you start to see things that are connected in the universe but are out of place. It's almost like there was some sort of like fuck up in a time machine.
Yeah, glitch.
A glitch in the Matrix, so to speak, right? Yep. Well, what do you think about the Mandela effect? Have you heard much about that?
I think that shit's crazy, bro.
I want to know what your take is on that, because a lot of people are starting to like question certain things that they see as far as like Fruit Loops, being spelled differently in logos, and I think it's very entertaining, but I also think that there's something to it.
Yeah.
On some sort of subconscious level.
I think it's all subconscious. I think people, obviously when you first read something or something, that's just what you automatically think it is, and like it gets stuck in your head, you know what I'm saying, even if it's wrong, you know what I'm saying. And so then some, you know, like, and then like everyone in your whole community could say something one way, you know what I mean, like tomato, you know what I'm saying, just like shit like that, you know what I'm saying, and it's different, and then nothing, and it might not click until you get around a whole different group of people, you know what I'm saying, we're like, oh well shit, I didn't even fucking realize that.
I didn't realize I say that, because
this is, well, you know, like I've, you know, like with the Berenstain Bears, you know what I'm saying, like oh shit, I thought it was spelled like this whole time, you know what I'm saying, but to them people, they might have already known it was spelled this way, you know what I'm saying. So I think, like, you know, like I think it's clicks, you know what I mean, like shit will click in, because like, you know, like I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff that we think is different, you know, we think is one thing and you think is another thing, but it's could be totally opposite than, you know what I mean, like
you're totally right. It's like you said, it's like you understand it on first impact, like what it is on the surface, first on a surface level, and then you get the cake from the environment around you, and then that becomes your second.
That's what you think it is. That's your cushion, you know what I'm saying. And then when your egg gets broken, then you know what I'm saying,
then you resort to your surface level thinking again,
and that's when your brain gets flipped, and that's when you're like, oh well shit, that's the Mandela effect, you know what I mean.
That makes a lot of sense, because let's go to the Mandela effect, the actual Mandela. Some people thought that he was dead. Some people thought he was locked up at it. You know,
still,
So if you look at it, there could have been a news story that was circulating.
Well, some people thought he died in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what, you know. That's what I think that Mandela effect was, right?
The narrative could have been popular in newspapers or you know, and circulated.
And or another thing is that he was just an old Negro in prison. So no one, you know, like when he did get freed, like how many ever years later, you know what I'm saying? Like I just, people probably didn't even really try to pay attention to that, you know. They just learned about him in school, still locked up, you know what I'm saying? Just figured that nigga died in prison, you know what I mean? Like,
shout out to Mandela. No, for
big
real,
shout out to Mandela.
But you're right, and it speaks to the way that we take in information and what we deem to be true. That's why we're living in a weird time where fake news is so like.
Well, you gotta just think everything's fake news, bro. Like, 'cause from the shit that like people learn in Christian schools to what we learn on the reservation schools, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. It's two different worlds, you know what I'm saying?
It's like a control system, and you're filtrated through a control system when you're in doctrine, and that's what your belief system is until you go out in the real world and have to mold your own views.
Make your own views, you know?
Have you ever seen the show? There was a reality show that was crazy. It was like Amish, Breaking Amish.
Yeah.
Where they would take the Amish
I don't know if that shit was real, though. But you know, I always lose faith in like TV shows like that. You know, if it is real though, that shit's crazy.
Can you imagine like going against your religion, your family, and everything just to go have a free life? Like, that's crazy. Like, I mean, just
I would though if I felt trapped. Oh yeah, I would.
Totally. I would do it. My God,
that's like almost like, you know, like when you get like trapped in like I can't really speak for what they feel, but I can speak for how I would feel.
Yeah.
Like when you get like stuck in like an Amish society where you can't do shit, like you don't even have computers or nothing. Well, I feel so trapped and feel like a slave to like to nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I would be like, what am I doing here?
Kind of cut off from the world in a sense.
Straight cut off from the world, bro. They're like straight cut off from the world. You know, like,
you know, if 90% of people died, or you know, groups like that would be the ones that kind of rehabilitate.
I think so too, dog. I think so too.
And you know what? They don't know of anything pop culture or anything really outside of what they do. Because they don't
give a fuck, yeah.
They cut themselves off from everything. So I can see how the reset of generations of everything could be from that sort of situation. But I also feel like over time things will corrupt certain levels. Like, it's hard to keep a cell phone away from anybody nowadays. You know, and the cell phone can be whatever you type into it. It could be whatever's being advertised to you off of your behavior and things that you talk about in your conversation. That's why I think it's interesting that companies like Amazon, Facebook, all these big, like the biggest companies in the world, are also getting like the strongest technology in the world that they've ever had. And now they can really take control of your life in a way that you don't even know. Sometimes they inflict your behavior through
everything, bro.
You know, and that's really interesting, because if you look at things like QAnon, and when the homie went up in the pizza shop and shot it up, and you know, like, it really shows you a product of how the internet can influence your behavior.
Weak-minded individuals.
People who fall easy into the traps, you know, the internet.
Set by,
And it's crazy because there's traps everywhere, man. If you go on the pornography fucking websites and they say click here to fuck hot MILFs 10 miles down the road, you just trapped your computer. Now you got a virus on your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just shows you like the internet is not necessarily set up
for... It's a spider web. That's what it is. It's a web,
dog.
Oh,
shit. That's called because the predatorial spider is the consequence of whatever trap that you... Yeah. Because the internet's used to catch a lot of weirdo motherfuckers. Look at the Catch a Predator series.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as soon as that became a thing, motherfuckers were just lining up at the door to get caught.
I know, they were, too.
You know what I'm saying? How crazy is that? But that's what we were talking about, like the magnifying glass.
Flies, nigga.
Oh, yeah.
Flies to shit, bro.
The internet being a magnifying glass to the behavior that allows us to examine where we're at as a society with tweezers. Because we can really remove certain aspects of our culture in real time, and that's what we see with cancel culture. And when people people care about something, they can shift.
They kick you the fuck out.
Yeah, look at what Rick Ross got canceled because he was putting fucking Molly in a bitch's drink. She ain't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to Rick Ross.
Why would he even say that? I don't even know why he would say that shit.
Allegedly. No, he really said that shit.
Yeah, he did. He did.
But I think there's something interesting because if you know what the giants are, and you're going to be in this playing field, you have to avoid getting stomped. And it's not just by something you've said that's inappropriate to a group. You know, you can get canceled for just about anything. Yeah. It just has to piss off the right people at the right
group
time.
Of people.
Yeah. So it's like you got to learn how to navigate if you want to make money.
You got to just be a good human, dog. That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Just be a good human, dog, and you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't even have to be strategical.
Don't be shitty. Yeah, just don't be shitty and don't say shitty shit to people. You know, and don't say fucked up shit and don't do fucked up things, and you'll be fine.
You're totally right. I was thinking the strategy would be like there's certain things that aren't in, you know, like religion and certain things where you might not be convicted for it now, but 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, things could change. Culture could change.
Oh yeah.
And you could now become a criminal for something that was out of your control. Like we were talking about how like Epstein, how he took pictures with a lot of fucking people and nobody knew that he was going to be one of the biggest criminals, you know, on our side of the world in the next 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So it's like you can get put into a lot of situations by association.
Oh yeah.
That's why they say you could be guilty by association whenever something does go down if you are a part of it in any kind of way.
Yeah.
So like a web, like you said, and I think that's what we deal with whenever we use the internet for good or bad, you know. Like you look at the deep web, the dark web. Motherfuckers thought that was fun until they realized that, you know, only thing that you can find on there is fucking murder, fucking porn, and fucking child porn, and like all hitmen. You can buy hitmen to shoot up a room, and you can buy all sorts of devil, demonic shit. And the fact that that's out there is bad enough, but the fact that there's people searching for it,
the
is
fact
even
that
worse.
People are playing with it is fucked up.
Yeah,
it's like playing with a Ouija board, dog.
Oh, totally. It's
you
like
never know what you're gonna get.
That's right. It's like opening a portal to a world. Because
the dark world. It says it right in the fucking title, bro. This is the dark web, nigga. This is like a tunnel spider, you know what I'm saying? Totally. You go down a tunnel spider's thing, you're fucked, you know what I'm saying?
You're trapped in.
That's the dark web, nigga. We see all the webs up here. We can dodge a spider if we're out here, but once you stick your finger in that hole, nigga, you're done. So you're getting big. You're done.
Let me ask you this. If the dark web is monitored by a lot of like officials, like CIA officials, you know, like FBI officials, and they're using it to like trap certain criminals and in certain situations, they're human too, and they could be corrupted by the same infrastructure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's happened.
I would imagine that it'd be like a comic book villain if somebody with
That's
power.
That's a good idea, dog.
Right. If somebody with power was
like a leader of the feds or something.
Yeah.
And he's just like fucking the one that's running the fucking dark web, dog.
Yeah, totally. Like that'd be insane. See, that's what I'm thinking because we're human, we're man. We can be corrupted by the same, you know, tools that we're using on other people. Like look at how guns can.
Just like the devil can corrupt God, you know. It's just like
power corrupts.
Power corrupts. Dog.
What do they say? Absolute power corrupts. Like,
yeah.
Like look at the. I was thinking about this earlier. Tell me what you think of this thought. I was thinking about what if there was like a data chart where it could show you like how every cop in America has how many bodies they have. And break it down to like who they've killed.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to look at that data and see who was really at the top of this like chart, like this ranking, then you could really go look and break down the psychology of what's going on in those departments.
I mean, we never know because we don't really know. They don't like tally up this shit that when the police do it. There could be like mass murdering police, dog.
Serial killers.
Yeah.
See, and that brings that whole like being corrupted by the job or by the tools that you have, and like absolute power corrupts, man. I think that there's a comic book series or a movie series in that. You know what I'm saying? Something really
there
wicked.
is, dude.
And You heard it here, folks. Here first, folks. If this shit ever comes
if it
out,
pops off, man. Make sure Tory gets his cut, man.
Real talk. But look at like Dexter and shows like that. We've always been infatuated by people who kind of work behind the scenes, and dude, that's why serial killers are such a big thing in pop culture.
Yeah,
do you
people
think
are infatuated with them. You know what I'm saying? Ever since like Ted Bundy and like Jeffrey Dahmer and
it's weird, huh? How society kind of gravitates
Ramirez
towards
and shit like that. You know, like they just think that shit's hot for some reason. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like.
Do you think that that's a product of like...
It's like evil sex cells, you know what I'm saying? Evil cells, just like sex cells, you know what I'm saying?
You're right. Do you think it's a product of people who have been coddled by life, where it's almost so safe to live that when you want to be entertained, you look for something that's...
bad.
Bad.
Probably.
I think so, because like what I've noticed is...
Sheltered motherfuckers, they don't know. They think, you know, they're not used to like being in the streets where bad guys are like all around, like thugs and shit, you know? They see... This killer, this is a bad guy, you know what I mean? This is a bad boy, you know what I'm saying?
Real shit.
They don't know. They've never seen a dead body. They don't know they don't know what murder is. They never seen this shit in real life. They just read about it, and it's all over the news. So it's like, it's just like motherfuckers on like watching the Kardashians. Like, you know, them bitches is trash. You know what I'm saying? But like, still niggas watch that shit and are infatuated with them bitches. You know,
they love ass, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
real talk though. Some of the most rotten people that I've ever met personally are like, you know, spoiled rotten rich people, you know, kids that I grew up with, you know, because Tri-Cities, you can have rich people just like 20 minutes down the road, 30 minutes down the road, and they all go to the same school, so naturally there's a hierarchy that develops at every school that's out here. I know it's probably still the same because people don't change, you know, just the time does, but what I noticed about it is like there's something about when you get more, you're less of a person. But like if you receive less, then you're more of a person because you are grateful and you have all those human characteristics that we all deem as like great qualities in a human being. But if you receive too much, it could really empty your cup as far as your personality, your character.
If you get too much at once,
it could fry you in a sense.
You know, at the beginning, if you get too much, I feel like it can definitely fry you. Mm-hmm. You know, but sometimes you know it makes people, you know, like work harder though. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
Because sometimes motherfuckers don't get handed down shit, and then they like are like fucking like, this makes me need to work harder because I want to be as rich as my dad is. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, look at fucking Little Romeo. He had to do a lot to break out of Master P's cycle or shadow.
Yeah, but still, Master P was throwing hella money at that nigga, so I don't count.
Yeah, you're right though. But
I'm sure Romeo had a black card when he was fucking 10 years old.
Real talk,
you
man.
Know what I'm saying?
You remember that Mercedes Benz? He had a gold one. They showed it on Cribs.
I believe it.
When him and Bow Wow were going at it, it was crazy because I was older. I think I was about the same age.
At that time, I thought I was going at it with little Bow Wow and Romeo. I was like, nah, hell no. I'm the young gunner out here, nigga.
For real
fuck
though.
Bow Wow and fuck Romeo.
Because he's about our age, you know. So they were killing it for their age, man. It is crazy because I know that.
I hate it on them
pound for
niggas.
pound, we were probably better rappers our whole life.
Oh yeah. I thought them niggas was corny.
Hell yeah. But that was kind of like the boy band era of our genre.
Yeah, for sure. B2K and all that shit.
B2K. Yeah, like Diddy was trying to do a lot of that shit. And look at a cat like Diddy. It speaks worlds to like how creative he is because he's been able to stay relevant through every shift of every era.
He got that money.
Yeah,
if you got money, you can stay relevant. Look at Queen Elizabeth, nigga. That nigga's still a queen, bro. like what the fuck?
Right.
Who needs a queen, bro?
Dude, enough money, enough influence, and you can really cement
you stay
your place.
relevant forever.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you don't even need a hot product. I mean, you know, those guys did have hot products.
They stay kind of dropping hot products, yeah. But as long as you got money, bro, you can just keep making money, and then you just keep flowing. Like, that's when you can really like hit and miss shit, like throw shit to the wall, like, you know what I mean? Like, will this stick? Bam!
Like,
fuck it, lost $1 million. Will this shit stick? Bam! That shit kind of stick. You know, lost $500,000. You know,
like kind of how Jay-Z and Kanye kind of like drop experimental albums in their later years, like more introspective, more like Kanye was auto-tune singing on the fucking album. You know,
he dropped a Christian album and shit.
Oh yeah, there you
Gospel,
go.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne dropped a rock album. Like once you reach the successful plateau where you know that you're pretty much solidified, like you can't be broke again, then you start to just drop experimental joints and shit. I noticed that you dropped some experimental joints that were kind of different.
I drop a lot of experimental shit, but I know I'm not gonna be on MTV and fucking the radio and shit. So I'm allowed to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to like conform, you know what I'm saying? When I already know I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I'd rather just do art.
But you like the projects. I like them too. Like, they're really well put together, but they're experimental.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something special about those kind of artists who can bring their A game to every situation that they're at. Like, for example, when Wayne did the side project, there were some side projects that he did that I didn't think he'd really put his effort into. Like, he was literally just throwing shit against the wall to see what would stick.
Yeah, see if he could make money.
But like someone like Kanye was throwing paint at a canvas, and we treated it like it was a little bit more, valuable. And there's got to be a certain class level. Like, you have to keep yourself to a certain class level. You can go crazy everywhere else, but the taste level has to be at a certain, in order for you to get the respect and continue to be influential to your environment. That's what I've learned from like watching a lot of like the greats, because I'll admit it, man, I'm a rap geek, I'm a rap nerd. The way that I study it all, because I think that it's all information, it all makes sense, it's all relevant. If you know everything about everything that you're doing, then at the end of the day, you got more ammunition, you got more weapon power, firepower.
Hell yeah.
So that's why I ask you a lot of the throwback questions, like, oh, what do you think about like this rap beef, or who are your favorite top 5 rappers? Like, those kind of questions resonate with listeners, because that's who they are too, in a sense. They're rap nerds and geeks. A lot of people fuck with me, definitely are. They let me know that ass that they're just like me. So when you think of a top 5, and this could be the homies from the block, or this could be in the underground, like top 5 rappers that you put in your 5 spot. Like, have you ever thought about a list like that?
My top 5? Eminem, DMX, Tech 9, E40.
Boom.
And
damn, that's a crazy list off top.
Shit, I don't know.
That last spot though.
I don't know who got the last spot.
Damn, that list.
I'm trying to think who I like really listen to.
You have a period of years where you just...
Dipset. I really fucked with Dipset. Super tough.
Dipset's hard. You can put the whole Dipset in there. I feel like Dipset's like Wu-Tang. You know? They're a collective that broke off.
Public Enemy. That's my...
okay.
Yeah.
That's hard, man. Public Enemy's production was fucking incredible.
So yeah, Public Enemy, Eminem, Tech 9, E40.
Damn. Public Enemy. All those guys are iconic, man. Like Public, DMX, Eminem. Public Enemy, man.
I like that hard shit, you know what I'm saying? Public Enemy, you know what I'm saying? I've been listening to Public Enemy since I was like 5 years old, bro.
That's fucking savage, man. Do you have a political lean, like when you, because they're kind of political in a sense, do you ever want to make like a record that has like a statement or like something like that? Just an offset record that not necessarily, is what you are or what the album's going to be thematically.
Well, for me, listen, what I think, for me personally, I don't think I have a... my voice doesn't matter. I'm not going to speak on politics, because it's,
right.
It'll just get...
It's like when Wayne said that he doesn't...
Yeah, I'd rather just do art and I will, I'll poke at subjects, but I'm not going to take the time to, like...
Right. Do a whole fucking rollout.
yeah, because, like, I'm sure some people would want to hear that, but that's just not even me, so why would
you have to invest a lot into making an impact?
I don't see myself, like... being like a leader of something like that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just me, you know what I mean? Like, and I just, my political views are my political views, just like yours. You know, like I don't really think music and politics mix too much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they could be manipulated to be together, but
if that's what, like with Public Enemy, that's what they were really politically charged. You know what I'm saying? So like. But that's what I knew I was getting into listening to that, you know what I'm saying? Like, when people listen to me, they're not trying to hear politics and shit. They're trying to hear craziness and fucking, and hear my crazy mind, you know what I'm saying? And my crazy paintings, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not trying to hear politics.
In a way, Public Enemy was kind of like the East Coast version of what was going on the West Coast. Well, they were before or they could have been at the same time with the NWA.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, they were both saying the same thing, but in their own different way. That's why I love so much about, because the two best, like as far as that goes, that was the best period of time that you could ever done it, because life was so real and authentic back in the 80s and 90s. Like, people were really...
It wasn't sugar-coated with computer screens, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Niggas couldn't fake it.
It was real, man. Like
it was real in the field. Niggas couldn't fake it. There was no computer screens to fake your profile in your life. Niggas knew you or they didn't. You know what I mean?
Like motherfuckers will say fuck 12, fuck Popo and shit like that. But back then they were saying fuck the police because that's what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't no sugarcoat or nothing. We weren't doing no slang or no trendy shit, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like a cushion, so to speak.
Super cushion.
You know what I'm saying? But
I'm
back
saying
then,
it funly.
Yeah, that's why people give Ice Cube tough time, like saying that he's a softie. But if you realize who he was when he came through the door, he could never be softer than that.
Yeah.
You know, because if you come through the door and that's who you are, that's your authentic layer, then everything else is
that's you, nigga. Yeah.
So that's why I got the utmost respect.
I got mad love for Ice Cube. I would love to do a track with Ice Cube, man. I have nothing but super respect for Ice Cube, man.
I think that he gets left out of a lot of top 10, top 15 conversations because, you know, he's humble. He plays the back sometimes. He doesn't necessarily have to be.
He doesn't need to be the quarterback or the point guard. He does his thing.
And he had an impact on the fucking West Coast that was similar to like Snoop Dogg. Like,
I think a lot of niggas slept on Cube, man. I think niggas sleep on Cube. He's a legend, man.
Lyrically, he was always a fucking savage.
He's a legend, man.
No Vaseline, you remember
all
that?
Shit, everything, man.
Classic, man.
Even his other shit, that like even when he linked up with Lil Jon and shit, that album was fucking so fire, bro.
Oh hell yeah! And how his music kind of led into the movies, like with Friday.
Yep.
You know, like he was a pioneer for what a lot of people mastered a little bit later.
Yep.
You know, like the soundtrack had nothing but Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, G-Funk shit. And I think that a lot of people learned a lot from Cube, but they don't give him the credit because he doesn't come out and ask for it.
He doesn't.
You know, and that's what's great about those kind of guys. They're respected to the utmost, but at the same time, you kind of wish more for them. You know, but they do, like Cube does a lot for himself. He's got a whole fucking basketball league.
Yeah, he does.
You know, and his movie career is insane.
Yeah.
Like he could damn near do a movie with anybody and it would work.
He could get anyone to be in his movies.
One of the most universal actors that there is. He's done action. He's done, you know, drama, whatever.
All kinds of cool shit, man.
Barbershop was a huge fucking thing.
The one with Kevin Hart, those joints, remember?
Which ones were those again? Oh yeah, the newer ones, right?
Yeah.
See, and people neglect him. They try to act like he's the Black Adam Sandler or something. You know what I'm saying?
Kevin Hart?
Yeah. No. Ice Cube.
They're trying to make him like the Black Adam Sandler.
Yeah, because you know how Adam Sandler has a lot of great movies, but he has family-centric movies?
Yeah.
So they try to act as if he's not
but
as
Ice Cube's not a dummy. That's why he did the family shit, because they know that's where the money's at.
But, see, Adam Sandler's not a dummy either.
Oh, no, Adam Sandler is a fucking genius.
He's a savage. Like, I think he's one of my favorite comedians.
I love Adam Sandler.
But people, like, they try to, like, sugarcoat his, like, they try to give him shit because he makes more family content. And Ice Cube does that now, too. So I
think it's just because Adam Sandler grew up, like, you know, like, obviously his old shit was fucking crazy and out the world, but when he started having kids and the family and shit, you know, like, obviously he's not going to keep doing this. He's going to, you know, do some shit that his kids can fucking enjoy, you know what I mean? Like, what's the point of being famous when your kids can't enjoy it? Like,
real talk. He's got the greatest movies ever, too. Like, you could go down the line and all of them are classics for the fucking most part, you know? Like, Waterboy.
Billy Madison was my shit, dog. I thought Adam Sandler's name was Billy Madison for, like, the longest time, dog, when I was little, you know what I'm saying?
That was a perfect movie, man. What was it, Happy Gilmore?
I didn't even know it was that bad growing up, you know what I'm saying? Then, like, I rewatched it as an adult, and I was like,
silly.
Oh, my God, he's talking about porn magazines and shit.
Yeah, well, the time period that porn magazines were popping.
I know, they were too, dude. That was like the thing.
Happy Gilmore, like you could go on and on and on about.
One of my favorites is Click, though. That one was deep. That one was deep, dog.
That one hits different.
That one was
for sure. I think that he mastered the emotional, like the height that he was going to go on that level as far as emotions went. I always loved those comedies from the 90s and 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I was saying about the whole Adams like movies, man. I was big into comedy in the 90s and 2000s, like Chris Farley, you know, David Spade, like a lot of those cats. They make great movies, man.
What was the fool that was in the Gigolo? What was that fool's name?
Rob Bigelow?
Rob
Snyder.
Yeah,
he has great movies too. Yeah. The Hot Chick. Did you ever see that?
The Animal.
The Animal. Yeah. See it. He Happy Madison.
Yep.
That was, and if you look, those are the two movies he made. Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
He made Joe Dirt too.
Yeah. Oh, that was a Happy Madison production. Damn, that was a cult classic in its own right.
Yeah.
I think that record or that movie, I'm sorry, and The Wedding Singer are like two of like his like
I haven't even seen The Wedding Singer.
Dude, The Wedding Singer is clowning. That shit is hella funny. There's so many quotables on that joint. That's one of my favorites right there.
I can't believe I haven't watched it.
See,
I just wasn't into weddings and shit like that. So I was like, I'm not gonna like this.
It's funny because it had like this Beavis and Butthead style like humor. like around the world of weddings singing, but not necessarily like anything about weddings. Just the fact that he was a great wedding singer, and then he was gonna marry this woman. He married her, and then she left his ass, so he fell into the dumps, and it's just a crazy ass story. But the whole time is just full of stupid ass jokes, and it's just crazy. That's his comedy from the 90s. Like, he was excellent at that sort of thing. Comedies, man, I noticed that nowadays everything is just like if you got like the super bad guys, and then the moving forward, like what we consider like comedy now, I don't think it's as funny as it was back in the day, because you had to use a lot more reality to make things funny. And now that we rely so much on CGI and editing and things of that nature, that everything's so plastic and polished that it almost hits you in a different way in your brain to make you laugh in a different way than things used to. And it's weird because we're like rewired and reprogrammed to
I know,
feel.
and now we're thinking like the shit from the past. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, this is corny now.
Right? And we're conditioned to think so, because it's like the light bulb conspiracy. You know how like some companies will create the final product first, and then they'll create products to drop before, to kind of like build up in a backwards direction to reach like the iPad or things of that nature. So they're able to do it on an aesthetic level to make it look like it's getting old as you're buying the new product. And it's really a psychological like tactic, and it's really brilliant how they go about it. But it's kind of sad how they operate. Like they treat us like we're lab rats in a sense when it comes to
everything.
Yeah, I mean cancer and everything. Like lab rats are guinea pigs for all that stuff. But that just shows you the type of humans that are living on the world. You got one that feel like that they're God in a scientific level, and then you got others that are just feeling like they're the peasants, like, of society, the workers, the grunt workers who have to do all the shit that nobody wants to fucking do, while others are pulling the strings or are affiliated and associated with those that are pulling the strings. That's really what's going on. There's only two groups, like, and it's universal, and it's in every country and everywhere in the world. So I think the way that we get better is if we realize the game that's going on, and then we build defense mechanisms to protect our families and loved ones from those kind of systematical things. And I noticed that that's what I'm trying to do with all the things that I'm doing, because I'm learning every day. I'm getting stronger every day. I'm turning into something that I've always would be proud of as a kid looking forward in the future. And I'm really open and I'm transparent about those things, because I want to be motivational from a visual standpoint, because everything we do is documented and we put it online. Without trying to be a role model, do you find yourself like, oh damn, I got a lot of people listening to me, a lot of kids fuck with me, maybe I shouldn't be blowing heads off in a record, or you know what I'm saying, or do you feel the artistic license where you're like, no, everybody knows this is who I am, and if you walk through my doors, this is what you're gonna get, whether you're 13 or you know what I'm saying?
Pretty much. I just do me. Like, I'm not trying to be on the radio. I'm not trying to make music for fucking kids. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't want to go
I like horror movies, bro. I'm trying to make like.
And that's who you were as a kid too. You were into horror movies and
just like as a kid, I'm not listening to no fucking Backstreet Boys and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was into fucking the crazy shit. You know, like DMX and Brother Lynch and Eminem. Like that kind of crazy shit.
Your personality type was, you weren't with the times, like because the times were a lot softer when we were
super soft.
That's why some people
but
never
that's why
really
I feel privileged that we grew up in the fucking 90s, because it was pretty cushioned, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if it was still like then, it would be everything would be beautiful and like nice,
rosy. I
feel like after 9/11 happened, that's when the whole world just fucking,
you noticed that there was like a paradigm shift. Like instantaneously things had changed.
Everything got dark, dude.
Everything.
That's what happened, man. Like,
it was like what Y2K was supposed to do.
What they did was they fucking like they turned the TV on in front of all the kids in every school and watched it. You know what I'm saying?
It was on TV.
They played it all day at my school when it happened. You know what I'm saying?
That's really interesting. They didn't shield the kids from it, right?
They didn't, dog. It just was dark, bro.
Interesting.
Like, I remember my mom waking me up and she's like, "Hey," she's like, "One of the World Trade Centers got hit by a plane." That's how I woke up that day.
Do you think that was by chance? That's how circumstantially, that's like everybody.
I'm just thinking as a teacher, would I want all my fucking 7th grade students or 6th grade? I was in 7th.
They pulled the TVs out.
Like, why would you fucking put this on and have all these young ass kids watching this?
They did pull the TVs out and put them in the classrooms, and everybody was watching.
So that was it just turned the whole world dark, bro. I feel like, after that, my whole world flipped, you know what I'm saying?
because we were no longer in the safe world where nothing could happen, because that only happens on movies, right? Yeah. Well, now
and like, we were kids. We're not just sitting watching the fucking news, you know what I'm saying? So it was a huge thing, like, because they turn all the TVs on in my school. Like
Children
every
of
kid
the
was watching
Matrix.
it, you know what I'm saying? Like
We were plugged in.
they plugged us all in, dog, and
Children of the
fucking made it dark
Matrix.
for us, bro.
Because everything that we did after the point was affected by that.
Well, you gotta just think from that point, like watching movies and shit, dude. It was like corny, and like even the action movies were like super corny, like Mission Impossible, and like just all that shit. Like all that shit was like corny and like cheesy. You know, like there's a few that weren't, like Terminator. I feel like that one like still lasts pretty good,
Right?
you know?
Because it was dystopian almost.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and but other than that, you know, it was like a bunch of corny shit. You know what I'm saying? And and then after the fact, it got like real, like shit like started looking super real, and it was like realistic, like
Fuck.
from the effects and everything. Like it just started getting real. Like everything started getting real.
God damn, that's so true. Like it just was a light switch. Like
it was, dude.
It flipped on, and then I watched this conspiracy theory documentary one time where they said that it was an event that was witnessed by the most people on Earth. And what happened was it was like a meditation or like a hypnosis, like a mass hypnosis, because by instantly the collective consciousness of all, like the understanding of life was like flipped.
Yeah.
Like it was such a huge thing.
Like shit can happen.
And
it can happen at any time. That's what it was.
It was the most powerful message that was sent out at one
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
And to think that it was really...
It's like you could be having a good morning and a fucking plane can fucking hit you and kill you.
Damn, that's what that footage looked like too, huh? When the building was just there, and then one by one the plane just crashed into the building. It really was like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like in real life. Like something that you never thought you'd see with your eyes.
Never, bro. It was a nightmare. It was just like a nightmare for everybody instantaneously.
Man, because it was so horrifying, because it was something so big.
People
like,
jumping out of the building and shit, dude. Like, I'll never forget that kind of shit, bro. Like, you know, and they just played it for all of us kids in the school. Just, we watched it all day.
And then there was the Building 7, you know, like how that...
And they tried bombing the Pentagon and shit, you know, like it was just like a...
It was like an
terrorist
attack.
It's like kind of like what they probably had seen during Pearl Harbor, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was our Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
It was like an attack on our nation, because it was multiple attacks.
Yeah.
All coordinated on the same day, but it was 9/11. You know, that was a message in itself.
I know.
Because that's the emergency number.
Yeah.
We got to look at the origin of 9/11 and see where that comes from. Because that's really interesting that would be the day that was selected. You know, there's some sort of... There's a code there. You got to decode it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's way past our pay grade.
Oh, yeah.
That's way past our security clearance. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? You're totally right. But it's just amazing that the clues are out there. Yeah. Everything's out there. All the information's out there. Nobody's hiding anything. And it's like, whether you want to figure out anything, that's all on you or not. So that's why, like, the musical universe and the comic book universe that you're creating is like such a sophisticated level production, because I feel like that much meaning goes into it, where the things mean something, and when you pick something, it's for meaning, it's for a reason. Like when you did your album covers and you started taking form of like illustrations of you in a storyline, and your story and your lyrics started to come together in that movie format we're talking about. I noticed that you create things deliberately with intent, and you want them to last longer than you live. Yeah. And a lot of people, like, I want them to understand that's what kind of artist you are, and to look into your stuff.
I just feel like, for me, I don't think I'll ever probably get popular until I am dead, you know what I'm saying? And then people are going to look back on it and be like, damn, this fool was a fucking genius, dude.
Like, this fool killed it. Like, literally.
But that just might be my fucking personal ego saying that, you know what I'm saying? And after I die, you know, I might just be forgotten about. But that's what I like to think, is that my shit's going to live on forever, because it's so deep and so, like, intertwined and connected, you know what I mean?
I really think it is, because that's how it hits me. That's how I take that information, and that's what and I've told you this the whole time that I've known you, because there's always been hints of that, you know, like you're just refining and making more of what you're perfecting your art, whatever that is to you, you know.
And there's no perfection, so it's just trying to get better.
It's like a marathon, like Nipsey said.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Nipsey, man. Nipsey was another one of those figures that was like DMX, where when he left, it fucking shook the world.
Yeah, because that nigga was giving nothing but game, bro.
Everything he said was game, like, since the fucking intro.
Yo, just game, period. Like, just game,
period. Do you think that his light was kind of dimmed a little bit by Kendrick? Because Kendrick...
Nah. I think, you know, they're just two different artists, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they held each other. They held themselves differently. Like,
that too, but I just feel like, you know, like, Nip is just a gangster, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a straight up gangster, bro.
He represents a world. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and Kendrick, he's he's around gangsters and stuff, but I don't think he's a gang banger, is he? Is he?
Well, his family, he's got family that are
yeah.
pirate.
Well, yeah, no, yeah, that.
But he's more of a thinker.
I don't think he's like in the gang, is he?
No, I think he associates more with like an academic. Like he's more of a thinker, like a writer.
He reminds me of like a scholar, like
right.
A student of the game.
I appreciate that because that's what I try to be. Like people like him, you need those kind of guys to weigh down the game a little bit. Because look at when
to keep it real,
Yeah, what I'm saying? Look at when J. Cole and Kendrick and Drake. Like even Drake on a certain level, he's got sensibility.
I feel like he's in that lane too. Yeah,
where he gets when he gets busy, he gets busy. You can't really say different.
Yeah, agreed.
You might not like the hook on this joint or the singing.
I feel like Drake is one of the smartest motherfucking rappers in the game, dog. He's like fucking so genius.
Well, look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z was the top dog before. Like you couldn't really compare anybody to Jay until Drake. And if you look at it, they both carry themselves in a very similar way when they approach something.
High class and knowledgeable, man.
Like it's art. There's art levels that they've reached. Kanye was a lot like that, but he's so experimental that it's hard to really put him on one plateau. You know, because he's still moving. He's like Flubber. This motherfucker's all over the wall. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be the political Tom fucking Ford, or
whatever he wakes up that day is what he wants to do.
Shout out to him. I wanted to keep this one close to around 2 hours. We got like about 8 more minutes, man. I want to kind of wrap it up with like your final thoughts about like where you're at in life and what you want to contribute to the game, legacy wise, or just what's on your mind. Any kind of final thoughts that you.
Man, first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me, man. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, man.
I've been ready to do this with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we found time. Time to knock it out. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, man.
And
you're my bro. You know what I'm saying?
All I can really say is, man, shout out to all my alumni. Shout out to all my supporters that are gonna listen to this. And I'm just gonna keep doing me. Hopefully this pandemic eases up so we can get back on the road and throw our festivals and hit these Comic Cons and do all that. That's really, until then, I'm gonna just keep working on the art and keep mastering my craft.
Yeah, and they can find you at Illest _Uminati on Instagram, Twitter. You don't
Google Illest Uminati and my website and my Instagram, my Facebook, all that shit will pop up. YouTube, all that.
Stream the albums on Spotify, Apple Music. They can support the Kickstarters. How do they find out about it? Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook. I'm pretty out there. I post daily. You know what I mean? I'm not shy to post, and I'll be out there. If I got anything coming up and you follow me, you'll know.
Okay, man. Well, I appreciate you being on the show, man. Thank you. Thanks again. This was a podcast that I was waiting to do, man, because I wanted to make sure it was at a certain level where we could really get our shit off. So I really appreciate you spending the time with the audience, man. This is going to be it for Tri-Town Tory and the Tory Talks podcast. My man, Illest Uminati, we signing out live from the Northwest. 1-1.